names on there. Glasner's top drawer. You look at Cesc Fàbregas, who's doing brilliant at Como, and he's an ex-Chelsea player. And Areola at Bournemouth. I know he haven't done good recently, but for me, like,
De Zerbi's not going to fit into that.
Yeah, De Zerbi. And you've got Xavi. Xavi's a name, to be fair. You know what? There's a lot of good names, but one thing I'd say is some of those ones don't want to be dictated. Yeah. They want to run it themselves. So if you look at it at the moment, I know Liam Rossigna. I worked with him when he first came to Sky. He is one of the best ever, like, in terms of pundit. Straight away, he wants to go and do stuff on the screen that you do, the tactic stuff. And I'm like, really? We don't want to talk about the game, but he wants to do that. That's his manager's head on, because he's always coaching. The job he's done at Strasbourg is outstanding. The job he done when he went to Derby and he was with Wayne Rooney, it was all his coaching that he was doing. He was fantastic. And when he went to Hull, I thought he'd done a fantastic job. And Jay alluded to it. It is kind of like Chelsea's feeding club. So he wouldn't have, I'm not saying he wouldn't have, but if you go to Strasbourg and you're thinking, I've got teams here in the Championship and maybe in the Premier League that were interested in me, but I went there, you've definitely got one eye on, I might get that Chelsea job. And he's one of those, if you say to Liam Rossigna, go on the pitch, coach these players, pick the best 11, he can do that because he's a top and he's a young manager. And I'm, for one, I want to see young managers be given that opportunity. And Chelsea fans might say, he's not a big name. Doesn't matter if he's not a big name. Give him a chance, because the way...
But it does matter, doesn't it, at Chelsea?
It does. I understand it matters, but no manager, and I don't know this from the hierarchy, but no manager is not going in there if he can't pick his own squad and by his own players. That's done by the board. The players definitely are playing for him. I just think to myself, he makes too many rotations. All right, perfect example is this, and I understand Reece James has been one of the best around this season, and I understand you have to manage his minutes. They got the draw against Arsenal, and then they go to Leeds in midweek, and they kind of kick-started Leeds' season. Leeds lost to Man City on that weekend, and then went for Chelsea and went on a fantastic run. He changed the whole, near enough, not the whole team, but the majority of the team that had a good result. And I know it was only 3 or 4 days later, but look at it now. Does Pep Guardiola do that? No, he doesn't do that. Pep doesn't do that. I know it's different because they're going for the title, but I think he made too many changes.
But this isn't your usual, as we've all played the game, and we know when the manager's under pressure and the lads come off it a little bit, rightly or wrongly, we've all been in that situation. This isn't your usual... Everyone thought Chelsea are absolutely having one.
No,
they're in touch, right, of the top four. So it has to be down to something we don't actually
that's why
know.
It's
We're
so
not privy to that. It's got to be.
Yeah, that's why it's so surprising, because of the wording of the statement. They don't get these statements wrong. They take the time. They know exactly what they're trying to say, and the fact that they've mentioned he's come to the agreement with them together, it really sort of shouts that something's not quite right.
Yeah, I'm surprised, to be fair, but then you look at the comments that he made a few days ago as well, or maybe last week, and there's a comments about, and everyone thought that was to do with the board, but I think earlier on, listening to maybe what Carve was saying, that's not nothing to do with the board. I don't think he fell out of the board. I think it's more the medical team, because he wanted to play certain players, and the medical team are saying, well, you can only play it for 60, 70 minutes. He wants to play it for longer. So obviously, when the Chelsea fans are singing, you don't know what you're doing, when he's taking off players like Cole Palmer, that is because he's dictated to by the medical team, and that's what happens at the moment. So it's been difficult for Enzo Maresca. I do think he chops and changes too much. They have spent a lot of money. I think he tries to keep too many players happy. When you're at Chelsea Football Club, what you need to be doing is challenging for the title. When he comes out and says, oh no, we're going to be challenging for the top 4, that's not what you're there for. Chelsea, the owners spent a lot of money at that football club. They want success, and at the moment they're not getting success. You said it, Jules. A month ago he was manager of the month, beat Barcelona, got a draw against Arsenal, where they should have. If Caicedo stays on the pitch, they could have won it, and everyone's talking about in a title chase, promotion chase. And now you look at it now, a month later he's lost his job. So listen, it's probably disappointing for Enzo Maresca, but the Chelsea hierarchy, they run that football club basically, Jules. Like, they sign the players and they want their manager to just coach and get the results on the pitch. But that run of form there, Jules, for Chelsea, the last 10 results, is nowhere near good enough. Like, no disrespect to Bournemouth. Bournemouth haven't been in good form, and you're at home and you're only getting a 2-2, and in the end, Bournemouth could have gone on and won that game as well. So, yeah, you never like to see a manager lose his job, but Chelsea's a massive football club, and Enzo Maresca probably should have been doing better. But you have to take into account he has won trophies with that football club as well.
Chelsea sacked Enzo Maresca on New Year's Day following disappointing results. Cesc Fàbregas has emerged as a leading candidate to take over as head coach, with the club impressed by his football intelligence and understanding of Chelsea's identity. Zinedine Xavi and Xavi Hernández are also being considered as alternative options. No final decision has been made yet. but Chelsea are expected to appoint a new manager soon.